Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. I'm your instructor Joy. Let me first play a tune for you. Was beginning of Wohlfahrt Etude number 21. This video is an answer to a subscriber. This violinist was wondering how one could relax the shoulder, more precisely the right shoulder. This is particularly hard, isn't it? Because this part is all connected to the elbow and wrist on the hand. When we get busy with all kind of string crossings, left fingers and so on, it's very hard to relax. So you are not the only one dealing with a relaxed shoulder and your body part, so I will explain to you how one could practice and how one could use this wonderful etude to improve that one. But before I do that, I'd like to thank you all for your continued support. I really appreciate for your kind support here and also my Patreon page, booking lessons with me, sharing your advice and ideas on my channel, and also volunteering with your time and all your kind emails and comments. Thank you very much. So now let's start. Let's start the cause of the tense or the tension on the shoulder. Of course, all body parts we want to be relaxed, but let's focus on how one could keep the shoulder relaxed. So, three common parts that we have a tendency of tensing up the shoulder. So, number one is when you do string crossings, when you do change from A or higher to the lower string, let's say D. Then when we have to change to G string, we have to raise our right elbow higher. Yeah, again D to G string. Has to be higher here. Simply because a bridge is arched, we have to do that. So we know that we have to raise elbow higher, but it is hard to raise the right elbow without having involved the shoulder. So what a lot of violinists end up doing is when you raise our elbow, the shoulder comes a bit, therefore creating tense shoulder, which we do not want it. Because not only tenses up shoulder, but the whole neck muscle, therefore it carries on to the left arm, which is not a good place to be. Two. Another second parts that a lot of violinists get tense easily on the shoulder is when you play a lot of fast notes in a row, especially slurred bar. Here. When you play a lot of fast notes in a row, because we're so busy with our left hand, whether it's any string, then we're focusing on the left hand, therefore we create the tension with the right shoulder, and that's another one. Third one, up bow tend to be a little harder to keep your shoulder relaxed, and down bow. When you go downwards, it easily the shoulder drops, but when you go up, somehow shoulder comes up. So this three combination seems to be a good spot to start to tackle the places where we could get our shoulder tense easily. So now make sure string crossings, especially from high to lower string, and multiple slurred notes and three up bows. And this is why this Wohlfahrt Etude 21 is fabulous, because it deals with up bow and start from always from higher to string, changing to lower, and then you have to do multiple notes slurred, then doing a lot of up bows, which is all uncomfortable. Not only that, it forces you to play at the tip, so that you are doing the exaggeration of the right elbow height adjustment from G to D and any string, and it will allow us to really have complete control of the shoulder. Because if you're doing the middle, you still have to change the height of the right elbow, but the degrees are much smaller. You see, D to D. But when I do at the tip, has to be much greater. So I highly recommend you to start with this etude. Now, when you do that, make sure, even though ultimately we want to play fast, but you don't practice fast at once because there's so many things that we need to keep on track. Number one, the elbow height happens with the previous note. Common mistake a lot of violinists do is that you play and at the same time you raise it, and that's why there are too many things and the shoulder comes up along with that one thing. So what you do is at the end of the previous note, elbow has to be raised here to stop and make sure the shoulder is dropped and elbow is raised. Again, then play. Yeah, and the same thing happens, or A to D. Make sure your elbow is raised, but not the shoulder. On and on like that. You have to do the same thing. You have to lower the right elbow before you go through from the lower to the higher string, but that happens easily because of the help of gravity. But raising elbow tends to be harder, so that's what you want to do. And now when you do multiple notes, slurs, such as, instead of playing whole bow, see if you can stay really slow, using slow bow speed. Stay in upper half bow in slow tempo, and then observe how your arm is simply just folding it. There's no more movement needed, just simply folding your forearm this way, yeah, like that. Because we're busy with the left hand, we feel like we have to do more, but this is totally unnecessary. Just folding your forearm, yeah, and it will also help the left hand to stay calm because you're behaving very calmly with the right elbow. And another one to help your elbow a little nice and relaxed, which is actually marked on the music, is accent. This little sign of accent. The accent helps us. Of course, accent can be done with a speed and a little bite with the index finger. But while you do that, so you're folding your arm with a pinching index finger without having involved your shoulder. See if you can do it in one string. Yeah, where I'm using something called a matele, which is accented staccato. Move your bow fast, make sure you just fold your arm without having shoulder comes up like that. And then if you feel comfortable, then you add on top of that string crossings by raising the elbow height with at the end of the previous note, like this. Then see if you can do try yourself and just focus on that one and tackling one thing at a time, and make sure you practice slowly and gradually you can add all these other things. Yeah, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching and happy practicing. Hope to see you again. Bye bye.